Coming up, could Disney Plus hit 200 million subscribers globally by 2029? And is Die Hard a Christmas movie? All that and more coming up in today's Disney Plus news. But before we go any further, make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest. Let's jump into it. Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's On at DisneyPlus.com. A quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off talking first off about some new data that's come out from Digital TV Research, who have stated that by 2029, they are estimating that Disney Plus will have 192 million subscribers, which will be just below Netflix, who are going to have just under 300 million at 298, with Amazon coming in at second place with 269. Now, I think it's kind of interesting to see that the numbers for Disney Plus seem to have definitely been pulled back a little bit. Back in the Investors' Day, Disney was expecting to hit like 220 to 260. That number's drastically been reduced. And I think a big part of that is because of what's been going on in India. Losing 20 plus million subscribers in India has definitely hit that there. Now, this is based on the idea that Disney maintains its ownership of Disney Plus Hotstar and doesn't sell it, because if they sell it, that number is going to be drastically reduced. But it's still looking to be the third biggest streaming service behind Netflix and Amazon. Now, I think this is interesting to see how this all comes together. I definitely do not see Disney beating Netflix. I just can't see how that could happen. Disney still has plenty of countries to launch in. They can still launch in some places in Asia, and there's big areas right across South Africa which they could grow in, though they're trying to get profitability, trying to get more money rather than just going after those subscriber numbers. And there are other ways that they can boost up those subscriber numbers. You know, doing the account sharing crackdown, that's probably going to add in a few million, probably not a huge amount overall, but it will help. Also, bundling it in with cable platforms like they've done recently with Spectrum. If they start doing that with different cable providers around the world, that's going to help boost those numbers. And I think just the addition of the ad-supported tier internationally is going to have a big impact on how many people not just sign up for the cheaper tier, but also people that will stay on Disney Plus if they, don't want, maybe they don't think there's enough on there. Maybe go, we'll just go down to the ad-supported tier, but we maintain our subscription. I think that's going to be a big help in keeping them moving forward. Now, I always put this kind of weird thing with Amazon Prime Video, because there's so many people that have got Amazon Prime that don't even watch it. Because they get free shipping and other benefits through Twitch and, music and other things like that. Having an Amazon Prime subscription, there's a whole load of people that just do not use the video service. So I always kind of look at that and go, how many people are actually using it? How many times do you see big shows and stuff breaking out on there? I think that's always a little bit hit and miss. And also their major business is not about, getting people to watch TV. It's just an added bonus. They just want you to keep buying stuff from them. So it's a very different business model from Netflix. And I think also Disney is in a very different business to both of them. They've got their theme parks, they've got merchandise, they've still got linear networks. They've got video games, cruise lines. They're in a very different way of running than Netflix. It's like with, for example, like Wish this weekend. While the film might not have done that well at the box office, they are still going to be making money from different areas within the business, not just how well it did and that's it, moved onwards, like, say like Napoleon or something like that. There's going to be different ways for Disney to still make the most of that one there. There's still got a few more weeks and months left in cinemas, so that's not too bad with Wish. But nevertheless, I think this the actual number of 192 million subscribers globally is a little bit less than I maybe would have thought, but I think, we're definitely reaching that point of there is going to be a saturation point to how many subscription services people are willing to pay for. How many do you subscribe to? I know I've gone on a bit of a binge recently of having a major clear out of what I was doing and what I was paying for, and kind of going, look, which ones are we actually watching? Which ones are we aren't? And maybe just jumping in for a month or two on some of the platforms which have got shows and stuff that we want to watch. For example, I don't have Amazon Prime right now, but you've got Reacher Season 2 coming up. I still want to watch Gen V, so therefore there's a couple of shows there that might make it worthwhile me doing it. I've got a free offer at the minute for Apple TV, so I've been watching Monarch and some catching up on some of the shows and films on there. But for me, definitely Disney Plus and Netflix are the two main ones, along with BBC here in the UK. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this comes together. But let us know what you think of this in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about the Simpsons movie, because there are rumours that a second film is on the way. Now, there have been rumours of a second film for years. It's been reported multiple times that they have been working on it, and then they stopped, and they started on it. Disney apparently were working on a new version, but then kind of dropped it because of the pandemic. The first film was released years ago. It pulled in over 500 million at the box office. It is available on Disney Plus if you want to watch it. But I definitely feel with The Simpsons, it's a franchise that would make so much sense for Disney to just kind of try and utilize. Also, making a movie would allow them to have a little bit more control over it, because with the series, Fox still has airs it in the US, so they can't fully use it. They can't use it at the theme parks because of the Universal deal. So that's why we've only really been getting those little shorts. So maybe a film could be a good way of doing it. But recently it was announced that 20th Century Studios were teaming up with James L. Brooks for an upcoming film, Ellen McKay. Now, he previously worked as one of the writers on the Simpsons movie, and it's been suggested by Industry Insider that it actually was only greenlit as part of an agreement to get James L. Brooks back to write the second Simpsons film. Now, I definitely think the chances of them doing one is much more likely. Disney want to lean in on those franchises, and I think 20th Century Studios knows that they could do something with this one. Now, whether or not The Simpsons could work nowadays, I don't know if the story could do. You know, are they going to continue making their shows and stuff? There's a lot of stuff out there with The Simpsons, so I'm not sure. But I'd definitely be interested in seeing a second film. I always remember when I went to see the first film, just how much different it looked and how much I did enjoy that aspect to it. But let us know. Would you like to see a second Simpsons movie? Let us know in the comments below. Let's now talk about Die Hard, because the big question is, at this time of the year, is it a Christmas movie? And I say yes, it is. It's set on Christmas Eve. It's set at a Christmas party. There's Christmas songs in it. It's Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. It's one of my favourite Christmas movies, and I love watching it each and every year, especially since internationally it is on Disney+. Well, Disney+ here in the UK is getting in on the fun, and they have released a new video today featuring tenor Alfie, really popular singer here in the UK, doing Ode to Joy, but a Die Hard version. It's fun, it's tongue-in-cheek, definitely just kind of pulling out all the points of why it is a Christmas movie. A lot of fun. And they've kind of kicked off, I think, the whole festive thing today with a couple of different adverts and stuff. Now with Thanksgiving over, not that really makes a lot of difference here in the UK, because it didn't. But yeah, Christmas season is on there. I've even been listening to some Christmas music today to kind of try and get me in the mood. But yeah, so I'm just loving this idea, just Disney having a bit of fun with it. But let us know what you think of it in the comments below. Moving on from there, let's now talk about what's new on Disney Plus today, because in the United States and in Canada, you got a brand new special, The Wonderful World of Disney Magical Holiday Celebrations. So this one was filmed at Walt Disney World, featuring loads of big Christmas songs and stuff right in front of the castle. Shame they don't put this one internationally, because I'm sure us international folks would love to see more from parks. I loved Walt Disney World. Again, with these kind of ones, they'll only tend to be on Disney Plus for a limited time, but that one's there. Also, over the weekend, yesterday we had Faraway Downs released on Disney Plus around the world and on Hulu in the United States. This is a 6-chapter version of Australia, but it's got about half an hour to an hour of extended scenes. There's a different ending. I did watch the first episode yesterday. I think it might take a little bit longer to kind of get through it. I kind of forgot what the film was like. It was a little bit odd, but I'm going to check it out. I love Australia. I love the film. So this is kind of giving me a good idea to kind of go back and watch it, because I've not seen that film in a long time. And it takes me back to when I've been like traveling out in the outback and stuff. So I can kind of understand a little bit where they're coming from, how bad it is. And also the Northern Territory is absolutely stunning. It's an absolutely amazing place. So definitely check that one out. On Saturday, we did get the first of the new 60th celebration anniversary specials for Doctor Who. So that one was in pretty much everywhere on Disney Plus, except for here in the UK, where it's on iPlayer. And in Ireland, you can only watch it on the BBC. It's a bit of a mess over in Ireland at the minute. But yeah, so there's that one. I really enjoyed it, since a lot of people did, but let us know, what did you watch on Disney Plus over the weekend? And are you going to check out that musical special? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. In our comment of the day, which comes from the Save Me, I think next year is the year Disney is back. Disney Plus and Hulu coming together, and at the box office, Deadpool 3, Inside Out 2, and Musafa all have a chance at $1 billion. So I don't think The Lion King 2 is going to hit $1 billion. I'll be honest, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if that can hit 500-600 million, I think that would be good. I just don't think there's the same interest in this second film as there was in the first one. It doesn't have the same nostalgia, so I think it's going to be way under that. Yeah, if it hits 600 million, I think that would be really good for it. Inside Out, I don't think that's going to be $1 billion film either. Anything between 600 and 800 million is my kind of guess on that one. Deadpool 3, I think, has a very good chance of hitting $1 billion. I think there's a lot more love for that one, but with it being an R, it's going to be much harder for it to get there. But with it being the only Marvel next year, only Marvel film out next year. I think that's going to really help kind of give that special feeling. So I do think Deadpool 2, but I think in general, I think this concept of a $1 billion film is much harder to hit nowadays than it was 5 years ago, before the pandemic, before we had bigger TVs, before streaming, and before the whole kind of, the economy is just not great right now. And until that changes as well, people will not go back to the cinema. I mean, that's a big thing that quite often gets kind of looked over, really, is the cost of going and the price of going to see films and stuff, especially if you're a family. Maybe less of an issue if you're going to go see Deadpool 3. But I think next year is not, I don't think it's going to be a great year for Disney next year at all. I do think the Hulu and the Disney Plus coming together is going to be a great benefit to Disney Plus to really kind of get itself set up, but it's going to be bumpy. There's going to be bumps in the road, and they're going to have to deal with some of the issues of some of the stuff that they've had out in the past. Yeah, a lot of this is rebuilding, getting things ready. And yeah, I'm not expecting next year to be anything but bumps of just them trying to rebuild and get past the issues that they've had in this year and before that. It's going to take years to fix. Nothing is just going to get done overnight. Stories, I think by delaying some of their films to allow them more time to develop them is going to help them get the stories right and all the rest of it. But just putting out less might allow them to focus a little bit more, definitely. But yeah, I do not think that 2024 is going to be the year they come back. I think it's going to be a lot harder than that. And also, I just think if everyone's just looking at the box office numbers as the be-all and end-all, that's not really it. There's a lot of other things that need to be coming in. And them just putting out less films. Because now we've had Wish, other than a few Searchlight films, there's not really anything out now till Planet of the Apes next year. So they've got a good 6-month run to kind of allow them to get stuff sorted and things like that. But I'd love to know, do you think it's going to be a good year for Disney Plus next year? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Remember to go check us out over at what's on at disneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys soon. Laters.